I love that we all come together to support one another to help really drive and boost the industry that we are in.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's session. My name is Emma Barron. I'm the Deputy General Manager for Professional Beauty in Dubai. And I'm really thrilled to have Mauro Galzignato here with us today, who is the Creative Director of Kemon. And I believe you're in Italy. Am I correct?
Hi,
you
Emma.
are?
Yes, I'm in Italy.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Beautiful sunny day in Italy today.
Oh, lovely. And whereabouts in Italy are you?
We are in San Giustino, which is the house of Kemon, which is like in Umbria. Do you know much about Italy?
A
little bit. Okay. Center of Italy.
Perfect. That's easy to. Today, Mauro will be demonstrating a live cutting demonstration on how to get the tailor-made look. So if for any of you that are watching across social media or within this webinar today, if you have any questions, then please pop them into the Q&A box and I'll be happy to present them to you at the end of the session. So I will leave and see you later. Over to you.
Thank you, Emma. I will start in a couple of minutes with the live demo. First of all, let me just explain why we call it a tailor-made look in this case. I've got the luck, I guess, or the unluck to travel around the world. And there is a situation where Italy is the main market for me, obviously, because I've got a salon, so I'm one of your colleagues. But I found the same thing around the world, which got a problem to get like to rise, which is like the bill for our clients. So tailor-made look means then we need to create something very special to make like an experience for our client. What we're trying to do in Kemon is working on what's called like color analyze and working on morphology in order to enhance every single details that every human being has. So the idea is to get as many information as we can through like education, and then mix and match and create our own look. Okay, unfortunately, because of the virus, as you all know, what we're going to do today, while I'm speaking to you, I'll be here in this position. Then when I'm going to move to my client, I need to wear the mask. So the audio probably won't be as clear. So what I'm going to try to do every now and then, to come back here, then talk to you, and then go back to my model and do my live. As Emma said, if you got any question, you can chat with Emma, and then at the end we're gonna answer some question. Meanwhile, I'm gonna just take you through what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna start with my model. Simona is my model, so I'm gonna call Simona to come here with us to join us. Please, Simona, take a seat. Okay, and I'm gonna also use this to clean my hands. So I'll be all right doing anything I need. And same thing we're going to do now in Italy, but I guess around the world, even like the tools that we're going to use. We're going to use this clean, which is like a Kemon product made for hairdresser in order to get nice and clean, and we can be free to work on our model. Now, just to explain to you what we're going to do, I'm just going to use my mask and I'm going to go to my model. Okay, this is Simona. Okay, Simona comes from many different things. So color-wise, she was almost like a rainbow because sometimes she liked to play by herself with the color at home. So she had like an old color from a hairdresser. Cutting wise, she had like a very, very short undercut. And now she wants to grow it a little bit. So what we're gonna do today, we're still gonna work with a kind of undercut, but much, much lighter. So we're gonna keep like the perimeter. So we're gonna keep it quite nice and soft. We're gonna fix it up like the top and give some nice shape. Here we start with the tailoring. As you can see, obviously she's got a mask, but then you will see at the end when we're gonna unveil also the mask. She's got a very strong jaw, so I need to work with some line, then enhance this jaw. So we're gonna work with some triangle. Okay, we're gonna zoom it on my model so you can also see like the section. We got like 4 different triangles. One that starts from the top and goes quite wide, like to the front. Okay, the second one, again, same connection, starting from the top of the area, of the head, and then quite wide all the way to the back. And then 2 small triangles that work on the side. So as you can see, we got like a star. It's 4 triangles. How are we gonna work with the triangle? We're gonna try to create, as I said, some shape in order to enhance the jaw and to make also the neck look a bit longer. So the shape will be like pointed from the front to the back, and the same thing on the side. In the same way, we did a color using the same panels, and then I'm gonna take you through later on while they're gonna dry my model. We're gonna take you through like from the color technique. And you can see how easy it is to recreate like the color technique using the same division than we did on the hair. Okay? What we're gonna use as a tools. First tools we're gonna use is a feather, or someone call it like a razor. The idea name is a feather. Working on tailor-made service, we also need to create a way of working that stays in the mind of the client. So first of all, when you're using like a razor or a feather, make sure that in front of your client, every time you do a haircut, you change your blade. In this case, as you can see, this is something that we usually do in front of my client. Okay, just brand new blade, and every time I finish, I just throw the blade away. That's positioning your service high up. Then I'm gonna work on the pre-haircut with a feather, so I'm gonna keep like that softness. Okay, we said that we want like still like an undercut, but we grow in the hair, and I want to enhance the femininity of Simona. So I need to keep like a sweeping sideburn, sweeping back. So all this that you can see already here on the screen, I want to save all this. Okay. Again, I need to connect from the underline to the top of the area, but somehow to keep that difference. So it gives some character to my model. Then we're gonna dry, and then I'm gonna finish to texturizing everything on dry hair. Okay. What I'm gonna use on wet, so I take you through also my favorite product, starting from a heat spray, which is like heat protector from the end line. Okay. Why I'm using heat protector? Because the difference between this and the water then takes longer time to dry off. The water, every now and then you need to keep spraying because it gets dry. With the heat protector, because of the ingredient, it just stays nice and warm. And the blade just slightly serves on my hair. So it makes it easier to do my hair. Okay? So let's start from here. It would be nice, work freely without this, because also it doesn't really suit me. But as we all know, this is a special time in history that we need to deal with all this stuff. So again, let's start from the beginning. 4 triangles. We got the first one starting from the top area. Okay, nice and wide all the way to the eyebrows. Okay. Second one, back, same thing. Same point of connection from the top, nice and wide from the back area, and then 2 small triangles in each side. We're gonna start with the undercut. As we said, we're gonna try to keep it nice and soft. There we go. It's a bit challenging working with the mask, even for the client. You need to be careful not to cut the mask, otherwise it's going to be a real problem. Okay, looking at the natural falling, okay, as you can see, this side goes a little bit forward, okay, where this side is got like a natural falling different, come backwards. So I need to work also on that one. This is an important point. Through all my education, what I realized is then to do like, to learn how to cut hair for me is also to learn how to adapt the hair technique, the cutting technique to the model. Because I've learned like one technique, it doesn't mean that I need to apply the technique on the whole area. Sometimes I need to adapt. To get more information means then you can play around and tweak a little bit, small details on cutting techniques in order to create something unique. This is my target, this is my aim. Okay. Let me see in front of the camera if this works. Perfect. Usually, a lot of people say like, oh, can you look down? But what I try to do is to keep like a normal posture of my model. This is also easier to see already like the final effect. Sometimes if they move too forward, there's no way then she's gonna walk around here. So I'd rather move myself and adapt myself to the posture rather than make her do like a natural movement. Okay, full length in this case. We know that here we got the occipital bones, so I need to do something in order not to create too much volume here. So full length, up a little bit, so I keep like the full length, and just work on the first couple of like an inch off from the occipital bone. Yeah? The razor also is a very, very nice and soft technique. Quickly as well, you need to know how to use it because it's very sharp. So if you don't be a little bit careful, it's very easy to make like some hole. But in the same way, I love the final effect because it's got a wispy final look. And in this moment of time, I really like it. I think looking also or what's going to coming up on the like autumn winter from next season, we got a lot of like softness around the hair, on short hair, but even on longer hair. Nice, healthy movement, okay, that can enhance the beauty of this material called. Same thing behind here. Small tip, just behind your ear, okay. You can go just a little bit shorter because most of the time what they do, they just put it behind. So we know that we're going to get an extra thickness around here. So we can take off a little bit more just behind it if you want. Yeah? In case of Simona, I'll do it because she already told me that she's used to doing this. So I know that here I'm going to get some extra volume. So I need to take off a little bit more hair just behind my ear. Again, hairline, most of the time, I just leave it naturally. Very, very rarely, I'm going to work on the hairline, unless you're going to do a very, very short haircut. Otherwise, I know that this is also the beauty of the haircut. I like also this wispiness around the hair. Yeah. Same thing we're going to do on this side. Okay, up. Full length. Just empty up a little bit this area here. Okay, same thing I'm going to do behind here. Here I can go a little bit shorter. Okay, because I know I need less volume. And I come to the sideburn. This one, as I said, push a little bit backward. So what I need to create something that helps me to create a balance between this side and the other side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work inside, okay, to create like so small channel around the area. So that small channel, so shorter hair will push the hair a little bit forward. So that natural falling backward automatically comes a little bit forward. If anything, as Emma said,
in the beginning, just write down your question, and then I'm gonna get back to you later on. Easier in this side because that natural falling is already forward, so I don't need to do the same thing. Again, as you can see, I adapt myself to the natural falling. So I don't do like a cop cut or what I done this side to the other side. So I've got that natural falling anyway, so I just need to reshape a little bit around it. Here we go. Double check. Let's see if we come there. Nice and soft. Nice and soft. Here we go. The underside, that was the easiest one because as we said, we're growing it. So that's the easiest one. Now we need to shape up the 4 triangles. What we're going to start to do, I'm going to start from the back. Okay, remove the clip. Double check what's natural falling. I really love like a dry haircut. I've been living like in London for just over 10 years, where dry cut is quite popular. Where, for example, in my market here in Italy, it's not as popular. But dry cut gives you straight away the idea on what's actually the natural falling on the hair. In this case, because I'm using feather, we strongly recommend not to use this tool on dry hair. So working on wet, just create the structure, and then I'm going to double check at the end with the finished look on dry. But still, as you can see, if you can see the shape, let me see with the white behind, you can see that we go less volume on the top as usual, because this is like the flattest part of the hair, and we try to get much more volume here. So we're going to do the same. If this is the triangle, what we're going to do, we're going to work on the inside part of the triangle, because the natural falling will do this. So reality is then the thickness is not around behind the hair, but it's always on the occipital bones. So what we're going to try to do, okay, we're working on the inside, exactly here, and we get rid of like that weight there, just on the occipital bone. Here we go. Okay. Save this bit here, which is the highest part of the triangle, because this will go on top, because I need to get like the idea of like a longer hair. But I removed all the way just on the occipital bone. So this is a little bit shorter. So I've got long, a little bit shorter, and then long again. So as they grow, you will get eventually into like a nice bob, short bob. Okay. Double check. Now we get the full section. Save as much grain as we can. Triangle section, again, one side of the triangle, the other side of the triangle, and the last one. You don't get a real connection between the middle side, the middle section, and the side section, but as we said, we don't care, because the idea is to get like a nice softer shape. I don't need to create like a geometrical straight line. Same thing we do in this side. Just connect it. As you can see, with the white screen on the back, the shape is already changing. You get less thickness around here. You get nicer shape on the top. And the side of the triangle will be my connection from the other two triangles. Okay? So what we're going to do, same way, we're going to move forward, starting from the left side. Remove my clip. moment I've got 1 point here, 1 point here, this is going to be shorter. I need to create the same thing. I'm going to get a little bit shorter here and point, a little bit shorter on the other side and point. So I get like a star shape. Same thing. The top, we're going to remove it, save it for last. Start to work on this side. Connection. So my guideline is the last section that I cut on the back side. So I get the one with the guideline and recreate the same shape. As I did in the back, the middle side of my triangle is the one that's going to go a little bit shorter. In this case, here I have the occipital bone. Here I've got my ear, which usually when you grow your hair, this gives you that extra volume. So working just in the middle of the triangle and going a little bit shorter will avoid to get that pump, that blood, the cut pump here. So here we can go a little bit shorter, like what we did on the back. And then get longer again on the front. So you get long, the shorter bit, and the long. And then again, the short, the long, it's all like a star shape. Okay, we're going to do the same. Shot straight away so I can move to the side. This is the longer bit. As I said, we saved from the last. We don't need to cut it too much, just to reshape a little bit, because it's just going to fall on top of the rest. Okay. Can you zoom in a little bit here? Oh, let me see if I can see something. As the hair gets a little bit drier, you can start to see through the color. And seeing through the color, you can start to see already the shape of the hair. So what you see, we're going to talk about the color later on while we're drawing the hair, but you can start to see like this point here, as I said before, this point here, and here is a little bit shorter. As we move them back, this belongs to this one, that's the triangle. Here we're a little bit shorter, which is the occipital bone. And again, we're going to do the same here. This starts to get longer, and then I'm going to connect it with the right side. Yeah? Thank you very much. Spin, spin, spin. Usually, when we're working on stage or like on the classroom, this is the time when you get like a lot of like interaction. It's a bit weird because I know that you're there, guys. I know you got a lot of questions to ask, but we're going to do it again. So I'm just going to carry on. But I'm more used to interact with my audience. It's better, more dynamic. But we need to work with this. So again, see at the top bit. This is the longest bit we're going to save for the last. As we said, my guideline comes from the last section from the back, which I'm going to connect it to my first section from the side. And we're going to keep it the longest possible because I need a point there. Then we got the intermediate section. And as we said, here, so we need to go a little bit shorter to avoid that extra bump. So here, we can go a little bit shorter, just to avoid that. And then again, we get the last one, and we need to keep it as long as possible. Same thing we did in the other side. Okay, then get the top section, which is the longest. And here, we're just gonna reshape here. Okay, like before, what we got here? Longer side, okay. Shorter side, just on top of my ear. Just bear in mind that when this is dry, it's gonna get up a little bit. And then again, the long one in the front. And we get to the front. This side and this side, which is a perfect length to go on
what do you call this, Mark?
Chin. No.
The chin, yeah, the chin bone, yeah? This is the chin bone. So as I said, she's got quite a strong feature, yeah? Lovely jaw and the chin bone in this one. So I need to enhance as much as possible. So as you get this kind of line, you just push that strong feature forward, which is ideal for Simona in this case. Okay. We get to the front. What I'd like to do on the front, I would say, as you can see the face, but you won't see the face because she's got a mask, but trust me, okay, beautiful face. Probably I want to make the neck look a little bit longer. So just to give like, as you said, like neck for a woman is a very important feature. So creating like, again, another star shape, so with a point on the front, will enhance like what's the beauty of like a long neck. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing. So this is the longer bit, okay? But compared to the front, it's definitely like shorter than the rest. So we're gonna be smart, okay, and clever. On the rest of the head, what I did, this will be my guideline for the longest bit on the front. But because my star shape, the point will be just in the middle, I'm gonna do the opposite way. So even this one is the longer compared to the rest, it's still shorter than this one. So to make this short and the longest bit in the middle, I'm still gonna use this as a guideline, okay? Because even if I cut it, the same length of this one, it will be definitely shorter than the front. So again, I'm gonna get that third triangle with a longer bit just in the middle. Yeah. I tell you, it's not easy to talk with this mask. It's hot. I've got the light. Okay. So guideline underneath. That's my guideline. So I can easily work from the top. And that's it. That's one. Top of the triangle. Starting from there. Second section. Guideline as a previous section. Okay. I can easily go shorter. So now same length here, same length on the side. Both same. I'm do exactly the same thing on this side. Automatically, the only part that I'm not going to cut that much is just in the middle. Is the one that needs to create me that longest. Exactly the same thing. Guideline from the previous section. From the front. And short. And short. Double check from the front. Length and length. Okay. I think we're almost perfect, although perfection doesn't exist, but we're close to that. And this is my last section. Okay. What we're going to do here, in order to save the full length, I'm just going to pull it a little bit backward, so I'll make sure that this is like a full length, and I just work in a different way. First from this side, okay, and then on the other side. Make it even pointer like that shape that we love, and it will be great for Simona. Okay, double check again. Here we go. And you should see in the camera. This is my longer section of the full haircut. Then what we go? We go shorter here, so we're going to start from here.
Then we got the shorter just on top of my ear, as I said, for two reasons. First, from the shape. Second, from like a functional use. You all know that ear sometimes can make it a little bit bulky, so we use this one to avoid that. Then as we're going back, occipital bone, the most exposed part of your head, shorter comparing to the both sides, which is a little bit shorter. So we get like a nice flat here and much more volume on the top. And exactly the same thing on the other side. Start again, longer just behind your ear, shorter on top of your ear, and longer here, which is your guideline from there. This is like the structure of the head. Just to make sure that we also want hair in healthy condition, I'm just going to give some rest to my razor. Okay, and I'm going to get my scissors, in this case, nice straight scissors. And I'm just going to do like a cross-checking, just to make sure that the ends is nice and sharp. Yeah. You can see the shape, see the point B. So I'm going to save that one. Just on this one. And here. Get rid of like some split ends. Also, as the hair is getting drier, start to see like the color, which we're going to talk like in 1 second. What we did on Simona, as I said before, she had like many different colors. We're going to like a color cleansing we used, and I'm going to take you through like the full range of products. Like Lunex system is our lightening system. We use an ultra cream, which is like a nice, gentle, soft bleaching cream with two main ingredients. One is chamomile, the other one is keratin, in order to save also the condition of the hair, because as we said, we want nice, healthy hair, even when we're using like a bleach, when we're going to do some quite strong color. And then looking into autumn, winter, one of the main trends is called like a shimmering color, which means that you can use a color, but in order of how you pre-lighten the hair, you get like different tones. But I'm going to take it through 1 second. Let me double check the haircut. It's fine. Fine. Perfect. Another little thing, when you're working with like this kind of shape, because this one is the longest part of the haircut, what's going to happen if you sweep it in one side on the other side? You're probably going to get like a nice sweep fringe, okay? Because that point allows you or your client to change anytime you want, because we haven't got like a solid, rigid structure, but we got something that can move. Obviously, if you move in one side, it will be like a little bit longer in one side. If you move to the other side, it will be longer on the other side. Same thing from the side. If you put it behind here, you're going to get a nice short bob shape. If you keep it like forward, you get a nice wispy feminine look. I think as a structure we're done now. So we're going to ask Simona to go with Davide to get the hair dry while I explain to you the color. And then we're going to come back and finish with like a nice texture on dry hair. Okay? Simona, you can go with Davide. Also because, oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
Breathing again.
Hard work with the glasses on. Cool, we have a load of questions.
Oh.
If you're up to it.
Of course, probably I'm gonna answer straight to most of the question, and then also eventually I'm gonna get also Davide eventually to join us for some question about the color. But as much as I can, I will do it myself.
Okay. Could you re-explain the star short long shaping, please?
I lost you for 1 second. What did you say again?
Star long shaping.
How to style long shaping hair? No.
Star long.
The star short long shaping, it said, was a technique you used.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now I got you.
Could you? Yeah.
Yeah. The star shaping, especially for like I would say middle short haircut, is great when you get when you want to get a lot of like a versatile style. If we got time today, I'm going to show you. You will see when it's like a styling as a straight hair, you get a kind of shape. But sometimes even like with a short hair like that, especially like young girls love to create some wave, some movement. Then when it's like rigid as a shape, it can get a bit too puffy. So having like different shape gives you like that kind of messy beach wave look, which is perfectly, especially like on the young target. That's the reason why shape and the star shape gives you more versatile way of styling hair. That's the idea. Because I want to get away from like the geometric, because as I said, I got like some sneak preview from autumn winter, and we haven't got that much geometric going on. Although we got the classic one, the big classic as a bob, we still be in, the long bob. But even on the long bob, we're working on some techniques that can get working on the star shape, get a little bit longer on the back. Usually you avoid this side of your body, which usually just it flips. So if you're thinking of a star shape on the long hair, you can get longer on the front, shorter just to sit nicely on your shoulder, and then longer on the back again. So it's a quite a clever way of approaching like a haircut techniques.
Great. Right at the start, you spoke about using a blade for your style.
Okay, blade. This is it's a bit tricky to talk about the blade, because as most of my colleagues, when I start doing this job, they weren't using the blade. They were using a different kind of tools. And a lot of people had like a bad experience with the blade because the hair gets very wispy. The reality is then if you're using, as I said, brand new blade every time you cut hair, a nice product that can allows you to go smoother on the cuticle. And most important thing, you don't work on horizontal, but you work on a 45 angle, the cuticle stay close, and you get some final effect that you can't get with the scissors. Because obviously the scissors just work on straight line. The blade, especially this one, and as I said, it's called like feather, it's called a guard. This is the perfect one to work on that one, okay? Very nice wet hair, working on a 45 degrees angle. Never do this, because this is very bad for your cuticle. And it's one stroke and it's done. That's the trick. If you work like that, you get some beautiful effect with the obviously, you need to like that softness, that wispiness on the hair. It's not for like a geometrical haircut. But every time I talk about razor, even like in different countries where I go, a lot of people say, oh my God, no. Even for the client, it's very important that you need to explain what's the difference between like a feather, a razor, and a scissors. Because as I said, a lot of people got like a bad experience. They say like, oh no, please don't touch me with the razor. So you need to go through to explain, going back to like a tailoring concept of make sure then your client is informed in any kind of aspect from what you do.
Okay, fab. Which kind of leads on to my next. Can you use regular cutting scissors on this technique?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. You can. What you need to do, create the structure on wet, as I did, obviously, and to get that wispy bit, I'm probably going to show you on dry. When it's dry, you need to work on soft point cut or like deep point cut. That give you a similar effect than the wispiness of the razor. But you can do it. Yeah, obviously you can do it. Other thing, sorry, Emma, very important. When the hair is very, very fine, not use the razor. Not to use the razor, okay? Again, you need to do a proper, I would say pre-advised check with the structure of the hair, what that client did on the hair before, because if the hair is already a bit sensible, I wouldn't use the razor. On Simona, she was perfect. Nice, medium, thick hair, quite short, so quite nice and healthy. Although she had like a lot of color before, it was easier for me to work with the blade. But we need to be careful. We need to be professionals. We need to know how to use the right tools on the right hair. That's the main thing. That's the reason why before I said, get as many information as you can, but then adapt those information based on who's sitting on your chair. It's not because, oh, I've learned how to cut with a razor. I'm going to cut all my clients with a razor. No, it doesn't work like that. We need to step up a little bit. Our job is evolving in more professionalism in order to make the client feel that who's working on the hair knows what he's doing. That's, I think, is the way forward for us.
And what do you prefer to use?
I would say I'm in love with the dry haircut, with dry cut. So I love scissors. Look, I'll show you something. Just to make you understand, even when we're talking about scissors, what I mean. Usually, this is my tools. I've got 3 different scissors, as you can see. And normally, 80%, 90% of the time, I've used the 3 of them on a single haircut. This is like a long scissor for like nice and sharp perimeters, yeah? When you're working on dry cut, you need to reduce the step, okay? So 2 steps and you create the perimeter with a long, nice scissor. Then creating texture, I use this one, okay? It's a concave scissors, so it's ideal to go inside to create texture. And then this is my 3rd scissor, which a lot of people I confuse with a thinning scissors, but this is not. This is a texturizing scissors. It's got this kind of angle on the blade. And on dry hair, this is perfect to remove the wave and to get like a nice shape and nice texture inside the hair. So as you can see, we need to know also the tools, as we need to know the right product for the right hair. You got beautiful hair, for example, nice and thin.
Very. Too thick. Great. So, in summary, what are the pros and cons of using a blade over scissors?
The cons is then if you use it on the wrong hair, you mess it up quite badly. There's no way back. Okay. And the pros is the time, much quicker if you know how to use it. And also you get some effect that you won't be able to recreate with the scissor. So that's probably the pros, but you need to know how to use it. Scissors, if you're talking about like geometric shape, lovely, nice and sharp shape, then you won't get it with the razor. So I think you need a bit of both, really. It depends what your clients like. It depends the way you feel. I guess like to be a 360 degrees hairdresser, you need to have as many tools as you can. And then you create like their own experience to the client. Same with the color, for example. Which, if you have any other question, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to start to explain what we did on the color before she comes back.
No worries. No, that's it for now. We can come back to the questions shortly. If you want to go on to color, then I'll put my
okay. We started with, as I said, we double checked many colors, blah, 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 rainbow. We decided to go for like a nice, a uniform pre-lightening using Ultra Cream. Ultra Cream is a part of our Lunex system, where we got many different products based on what your needs. In case of Simona, we work with some diagonal section. Okay, imagine again the 4 triangle on top of the head. Every single triangle got split into 3 diagonal, backward, forward, and backward. And every single section got pre-lightened using Ultra Cream. As I said before, it's easy to use because it's very gentle, uniform pre-lighting system. And especially when you go like a previous bleached or previous color on top. It's got 2 main ingredients. One is chamomile, because you can also use it on the scalp if you want, so very gentle and soothing. And then keratin, which is great for the condition of the hair. So all the undercut and the roots we keep like a natural color of Simona. Obviously, she didn't have any gray hair. What we did to make it a little bit cooler, we used 018, which is like a corrector on the tone-on-tone Kramer system color. Someone probably will know what we're talking about. For people that doesn't know, Kramer color system is one of our systems. You can work on permanent hair color, which is Kramer, or tone-on-tone, which is actually the name of the product. The name itself, obviously, make you understand, and we're working on tone-on-tone color. So we use 018, which is like a cold tone, just on the natural base and on the undercut, just to give that extra coolness on Simona's hair. Then pre-lightening, or like as I said, working with the same division of the haircut, 4 triangle. Every single triangle, imagine the triangle like that. It's got like diagonal, 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 like a zigzag, okay, section. Panel using foils. Ultra cream, we use ultra cream in 20 volume in 2 steps, which means then first application, 20 minutes developing time, then open up the foil without rinsing the color, just remove with the back of your comb the ultra cream, and then reapply some new fresh product, still 20 volume ultra cream, on top of the previous one. Yeah. Totally like a 40 minutes, 45 minutes like developing time. And we got like a nice and uniform, I would say 10 as a tone level, okay? A little bit warm because obviously we got previous color, and she's also base 5, so we got quite a lot of red pigment inside. So we got like actually ready, perfect, okay? She's already here, so very quickly, so I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And as I said, 45 minutes developing time for ultra cream, back to the basin, rinse it all off, shampooing, conditioning with Activa Nuova Fibra. Activa is our care line. Okay, I think I've got something here to show you. This is our care line when we're talking about Activa. Nuova Fibra is ideal, especially when you do like, when you get like over-processed hair, or when you just work with bleach. So just reconstruct like the fiber of the hair. So shampooing, then conditioning a little bit, okay, rinse it all off, get the hair back in a nice healthy condition, then dry the hair off and check the color. So as I said, we wanted like a cold tone, and what we got after the ultra cream, it was still quite warm. So what we did tone the whole hair using like a tone-on-tone of Kramer system as a toner. And interesting, what we did, freehand without doing much section. Just remember the previous section with the foil. And then one of those sections was toning with the 10.17 of Kramer tone-on-tone, and the other section was toned with 10.7. Not much different between the two of them. Obviously, the 1017 is a little bit colder. It goes into like a silver ash color. And the 107 is a beautiful, nice pearl blonde. So when we were talking about shimmering, this is how you get the shimmery look. Without using just one tone for everything and make the color quite flat, you got different like porosity of the hair, and every single toning gets different final result. So when I'm going to show you Simona now, you will see that as I move the hair, you get that translucent, nice shimmery look. Okay, but we weren't that happy of that. Okay, beautiful, but we want to give that hint of fashion into this color because, as I said, she was coming from like a rainbow. She loves like a particular color. So we use Colorful of Kemon Colorful. It's another line to make it easy. It's like our pastel, our crazy color. We use Colorful Pink diluted with the Nuova Fibra mask of Activa. So just to make it like nice and small. 5 minutes on, same time. From one side, just deposit some pigment, the pink pigment, which on top of the gray gets quite a nice final result. And the other time is Nuova Fibra, so great reconstruction from the hair. So you got beautiful, perfect hair at the end with this shimmery 3-4 color, which is lovely. But stopping the talking, I'm going to show what it's doing. Come, Simona, please. Sit. So I can also finish it. Emma, you can step in if you want. I'm going to put my mask back because I need to work with Simona. And we're going to the end. Here we go. As I was saying to you, if you can see in camera, that shimmery look, you can see you got like 3 or 4 colors. You got like a nice cold tone on the base. Ooh, I can't even see with my glasses. Yeah. Natural base, which is Simona base, which was a base 5, we just add some 0.18 to keep that hint of like coldness even on the natural tone on tone primer. Then you go an intermediate, working with 10.17 and 10.7, which is that 10, the cold tone. And then the colorful pink diluted with the Nuova Fibra gives you the almost pinky violet color towards the end, which is beautiful also for your skin, because as I said before, it's not only the morphology, but it's also like the color analyst that is very interesting for us. Gives you nice contrast without making it too severe. So that pinky just soften up a little bit the feature, but at the same time you got the contrast made by the dark base. Okay. So let me see what I can show. You can see already. I can show you. Look at the star shape of the hair. You really get like that point on the back, which was the longest bit, okay, without getting that bump on the occipital. Nice, smooth, with the perfect volume on the top, because as we said, we make it a little bit shorter here. So you get a nice round shape. No bump on the occipital, a nice wispy on the side. Then, as we're going forward, you can see that you got the longer bit just behind your ear, and then you got the short bit on top of your ear. So when we're doing this, okay, it doesn't bump out of the ear, and it's nice and flat. And if you see the shape from the front, that's more ideal for her. Same thing we're going to do this side, okay? Longer just behind, shorter on top of your ear, and then longer again, just on the chin bone, which is what we like to make it even stronger. And then you get the front. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's the longest bit of the star, okay? And this is the shorter on the side, just on top of the eyebrow. What we need to do now, I'm actually already liking like the shape that Simona's got, but I wanted to get out a little bit more of the color, to make it a bit less flatter, because we got this 3 beautiful color. To make it lighter, we got a technique called flower cut, okay? What we need to do, because of the shape, the pointy shape, you get like a nice rectangular from the top. You split it in 2, work on the first section on the top of the head. This is the shape. Twist it a little bit, and you just cut in the middle. I don't know how much you can see on the skin. Can you see on the skin? Let me see. If I move a little bit. Oh, and if I twist it, you get this. You see, it opens up as a flower. So what we need to do, just to cut in the middle. I'll do it like that, otherwise it's going to be difficult. And this is like a deep point technique. So I'm going deep inside, probably taking off 15–20% of the section. So you still get like the full length. Because remember, we need to grow in the hair. So same thing we're doing on the front. In order to save the full length on the front, I just move a little bit backward. Okay. We're doing the same thing, opens up, and deep point. Okay. First rectangle. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the side. Lift it up, twist it, and work on the inside. And the colors start to get together. So you get the dark bit that comes through underneath, okay, because of this texturizing technique. and still like the fullness of the top, which is what we need to do. Same thing we're going to do here. Oh. Up. And exactly the same thing we're going to do in the back. The only thing we need to remember is this side, this middle part is already shorter because of the occipital. So we leave this side here. We just work on the angle here. I want to get a little bit of a like natural color out because I need that contrast to make to show even more like what we did on the top. Perfect. Okay. Now, as a visual final technique, as I showed you before, I'm using this texturizing scissors. Okay, as I said, do not confuse this one as a thinning scissor. This is not a thinning scissor. Don't do this with a thinning scissor. Okay, you're gonna just get too much weight out and you're just gonna break the hair through. This is thinning scissors, nice, nice and smooth. Okay, and you just visually, you just see what you want to do. Okay, basically what I want to do, I want to create a little more texture around this area here. So working on 45 degrees, this is the angle, going in. You see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm just taking out like just a few hair. You can also give some direction with this technique. And you just work all your way around the head. First on this side. Okay. And we're going to do exactly the same on this side. And the back, the same. Nice and soft. Check in front. Crispy. Nice. And I've got my head right here, so let's see. There. Extra tips in this case, when we're happy with the final result, I want to create like again extra texture from a product. In this case, going back to our end style line. Okay, we got a product which is called like Dry Vault. Dry Vault is a mix from a volumizing spray and a dry shampoo. It gives you the, as we said before, like a beach matte effect. And at the same time, just pump it up a little bit. So this is the idea. And then a very, very quick trick will be, first of all, just spray all over. Okay. Let it dry for a couple of seconds. And then eventually, just go with your cold air in the head, right? Now, I think to give some justice to this work, what we're going to do, I'm just going to go a little bit away from Simona so she can take off the mask and you can see also the beauty of the total Simona. Okay. I'm just going to move from here. Simona, take off the mask. You have a look. Okay, hold on. As you can see, stay out. As you can see, you got like that natural color on the side that comes through, and you got the same on the back. Then you got that cold base on the root, and that violet pinky through the ends. They just give you that movement on the texture. Okay, spin around, Simona. Go, 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 go. Okay, put your mask on again. Emma, are you still there?
I'm still here. Gorgeous. Did you want to explain the colour? Were you going to explain that? Because we've had some questions about the colour techniques.
As I said before, I'm going to take you through with Simona.
Okay.
We create, remember, the triangle that we used on the haircut. So you go like the first triangle, it's got the base on the front, nice and wide, and goes on the top with a point. Second triangle goes from the top, nice and wide to the back. And then you got the two triangles on the side. What we did is working with a zigzag section. So starting from the front, one zigzag backward and one forward, all the way through, in order to get like the full two triangle. And the same thing we did from one side to the other side. Zigzag and zigzag. Every section was made by 3 panels of foil, where we use ultra cream with 20 volumes, so pre-lightning, nice bleach cream. Then in order to cleanse like all the color before and to get like a uniform lightning all over. 20 minutes on, then opened up the foil, removed the ultra bleach from ultra cream from the foil, and then reapply a fresh, the same product, but fresh preparation. So again, ultra cream and 20 volume. Another 20 minutes, so 45 minutes in total, basically, with the time the application. Then rinse it all out, okay? And then use 2 different toning techniques. In the first panel, we used the 10-7, which is nice pearly, slightly ashy, but very, very natural white effect. And then on the second panel, 10-17, which is much colder. It's almost gray. This it was used to neutralize all the yellowish tone that was left over, and also to create like the beginning of the shimmery look. Then while the toning was on, all over the natural color, we used 0.18 fill on tone primer, which obviously 0 isn't any tone. It just gives you the coolest depth on the natural hair. Rinse it all off, dry the hair off. We were happy at 90%. We want to get like an extra trick of fashion on this color. So we mixed colorful pink, which is colorful is our pastel range of color, which is like a direct pigment. Pink diluted with Activa, which is our care range. Activa Nuova Fibra. Nuova Fibra means like a new fiber, which in the same time we were toning with that pinky tone, it was also reconstructing the hair. 10 minutes, rinse it all off, dry off, and this is the final result. So you get beautiful dark contrast with the natural color of Simona. Then you got 2 different tones of ashy. One is very pearly and one is quite deep, which is 10-7 and 10-17. And final, that fashion flash, which is like with a pinky, colorful, direct pigment, diluted with a reconstruction mask, which is more. And this is the final result. Hopefully you
Beautiful. Yeah, loads of amazing comments. And what would be great is if you could take a picture. Can you hear us? Oh.
Yes, now.
No, later on, if you could take a picture of a close-up so we can put it on our Instagram, so we can show everyone what it looks like afterwards, that would be great.
We're gonna, as soon as we finish, we're gonna just get Mark to get like some nice pictures, so we're gonna put it on Instagram and you can see also with a nice line.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you everyone for joining us. For those of you who have been asking, we have recorded this and it will be on our YouTube channel, hopefully by the end of today. So you can re-watch, replay, and you can share it with your colleagues. I'm just having a quick look at some of the questions that we might not have gone through before we close. You applied the Ultra Cream on in 2 steps. Yes. Why was that?
Correct, because to preserve the condition of the hair, so working on 20 volume, so you work on low volume on the activation. So that means then the process goes slowly deep into the hair without using like 40 volume, they can split the hair. So I'd rather apply twice with a low volume than go with higher volume and get a lot of yellow out and the condition get very sensitive. So this is like a technique then with Ultra Cream we use quite a lot. Twice and save the hair and get a better result.
Okay, fab. If a client had a flat back head, so the back of their head was flat, and she wanted to do this technique, what would you do differently, if anything?
You don't need to go shorter. Let me see. Can you open up on Simona so I can explain? Okay, in that case, what I did, I went shorter here because of the occipital, but if you go like a flat occipital, you don't need to go shorter. What you need to do is to keep the same length on the back, so this will make this area a little bit rounded. Eventually, you get a straight scissor, okay, and you just work on the roundness of the head here, just to create another technique, which is called like a back combing technique. You just go like that, okay? So it means then the shorter hair will push the longer, and you got a perfectly nicely round shape all over the head.
Fabulous, thank you. And last question, what is your favorite product from the Kemon like the hair care range or the styling product range?
Okay, styling product range, at the moment I've got 2. I'm quite moody, so I change, but at the moment I've got those 2. I'll show you. One is the one that I've just used, which is dry vol. I used to be a lover of like dry shampoo. The problem with dry shampoo sometimes you get that whitey bait like on the hair. So this is perfect because it gives you the same texture of dry shampoo without any residue. So it's brilliant. And the second one is this product here. It's called like Salty Mist, especially in this time of the year. Gives you, especially when you're working like on beach waves or when you're working on like a nice texture, you give you that sea salt effect, which is lovely to touch and also to see. At the moment, those 2 are my 2 favorite products. On care, someone asked me about the care range. Again, I've got probably even more than 2, but for this kind of work, Nuova Fibra is the one that gives me more satisfaction with the client because it's instantaneously the client feels the hair much thicker. But I also love Volume Corposità, which is for the volume. Again, it's one of the things that a lot of clients now want because even on longer hair, they love like that fullness, the volume effect. So Volume Corposità and Nuova Fibra from Activa, again, my 2 favorite products.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, I think that's all we have time for today. But thank you so much for a beautiful demonstration. We've really enjoyed it. Sending you lots of love to Italy and hope that everything in the situation is better for you all now. And for everyone who joined us today, thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.